What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So I recently decided to upgrade my standard PlayStation 4 500GB hard drive with a new one. I went for the 2TB one, and the reason for it is pretty simple. I just recently realized that 500GB isn't quite cutting it for the PS4. The games at this moment are like super big already, about 50GB for your average, big AAA title. So that way you can only really store about 8 to 10 games on the hard drive before it gets full, and you have to start deleting some to make space for others. So yeah, it just started to annoy me a little bit, and I decided to go for a new hard drive. And I know a lot of you are interested in the process to find out if it's hard, how much does a hard drive cost and stuff. So I basically wanted to pretty much tell you about the process of changing my hard drive and how that went. Was it easy, and that kind of stuff. It's not going to be in any way a step-by-step guide or something. Look that up if you want to, if you actually really plan on changing the hard drive yourself as well. I'm simply going to start from scratch here and explain you what exactly I did to replace my hard drive. So of course the first thing you will want to do is to pick a good hard drive for your PlayStation 4. Decide for yourself what size do you want. Do you just want to upgrade to a 1TB or a 2TB? There are some specific requirements. Not every single hard drive does fit into the PlayStation 4. I think they actually are pretty specific, to be honest. So look it up, look up what hard drive specifically is able to fit into your PS4. So I went with a 2TB Seagate hard drive. This was actually an external one. What an external hard drive is pretty much the same as an internal hard drive, but then with a case wrapped around it that you can actually also use to store stuff with from your PC or from any other USB sort of like device. And the reason I went with this one, because I could also simply get the internal hard drive that was in it, but for some reason this external hard drive was more, or actually cheaper than the internal hard drive, which is really weird. I guess it has something to do with the manufacturer and stuff, and they simply charge you less for it. It's quite strange, because what I ultimately had to do is to buy the external hard drive, actually wrap the case around it, or get it loose, so that the internal hard drive would pretty much come free and I could use that one. So yeah, that's the first step you'll definitely want to do, is to of course pick a good hard drive for yourself. My hard drive cost me around, I think, 90 euros, so I thought it was pretty cheap. At least I expected it to be more expensive. 90 euros, there you go, for 2TB. So the next step, which I think is very important, and it's not necessary in any way, but of course you will want to create a backup from your existing PlayStation 4 right now. Sony offers you a really easy way to do that. You can go to your system settings of the PS4, and right there you'll see an actual backup option, and it allows you to not just backup your save data and I think they will copy your settings and also your video captured files and stuff. No, you can also actually save your application data, meaning all the games right now that are on your hard drive can be copied to a USB device. So whether you do it with an actual USB stick that will only have maybe 8GB, of course you won't be able to store all your applications, but simply your save files. What I did is I had this big other external hard drive that I've had for a long time, which is 500GB, and I managed to pretty much put all the data of my existing PS4 onto it. Yeah, there was one simple thing you needed to do, I think, is to connect it to the PC beforehand and kind of make sure a certain data type was supported or something weird. Once again, I'm not going to go into all the specific details. Look that up if you want to. You can't just all of a sudden start, the PS4 doesn't support the average USB device. You simply have to set something up on your PC, which is quite simple to do, but yeah, it is something that's required if you want to store data on a specific USB stick. So next up, of course, the biggest step is to replace your hard drive, and it went quite simple, or at least it was more simple than I expected it to be. Simply take out all the cables from your PlayStation 4, take it, remove the faceplate, and then there are some screws that you can simply unscrew, get the hard drive from it, and simply replace it with the new one that you want. So I took my 500GB hard drive out, I placed the 2TB hard drive into it, put all the screws together and stuff, faceplate there again, and you're pretty much already set. And the great thing is that hard drive that comes from the PlayStation 4, so the 500GB one, can actually now also be used for example, your PlayStation 3 if you don't have a hard drive that's as big. So for example, I have the 80GB PlayStation 3. Well, now I can use this 500GB hard drive from my PS4 for my PS3. I know it may all sound quite confusing, but it all does kind of make sense, to be honest, if you start thinking about it. And then we're already pretty much almost set. You just hook your PS4 up again, and next up what you will want to do is of course install your hard drive. So What you basically do is, like I said, put all the cables into it again, simply hit the power button. I think you have to hold it for like 7 seconds until it beeps twice, and then you go into system restore mode or whatever, and then that way you just say that you want to completely restore your PlayStation 4, and that way it sets it all up to be, you know, running again like in a couple of hours. So what I did, you do actually have to put the newest like system software of the PS4 on a USB drive, connect that to the PS4, and then it can manage to, you know, put it all back together. And afterwards I simply connected my external hard drive again and got all my application data, my save data, everything that was stored on there back to my PS4, and I was pretty much all set. So yeah, now I have a PS4 that has a 2TB hard drive with every single thing that was on my previous hard drive now installed on the new one, and I just have a lot more space to download all the old you know, games on my PS4 that I wasn't able to still have on there, you know, very recently because of all the new games that came out. So yeah, I think it's quite it's something cool, and within time I'm pretty sure these hard drives are going to be even less expensive because, you know, by the years you will just see them getting more like cheaper and cheaper. So in the end I think it's something I would very much recommend to you, especially if you notice as well that you want to play several games but you simply don't have the space anymore to put them all on your PS4. Yeah, I think I explained it all this way. I showed you some video footage here of me actually replacing everything and stuff, so I hope that kind of cleared it up for you. Once again, if you want to do this by yourself, look up a more specific guide. There are some people with great step-by-step guides to make sure you do everything perfectly. But yeah, this is how I managed to replace my PlayStation 4 500GB hard drive with the 2TB one. So I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you learned something from it, and then with that being said, thanks a lot for watching. Please leave a like if you did, of course, really helps and supports my channel. And then yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.